All right. Good morning, everyone. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Morning.
So far, so good.
Mhm.
All right. It is 9 a.m. Today is the Mendocino County Subdivision Committee meeting for January 12th, 2023. Happy New Year. We will kick it off with a roll call. Environmental health,
Marlena Julie, Environmental Health Land Use.
transportation,
Alex Guerra, Transportation.
and I am Russ Ford, Planning and Building Services. So that takes us to agenda item 2A, discussion and possible action, including adoption of resolution of the Mendocino County Subdivision Committee, finding that state or local officials continue to recommend measures to promote social distancing in connection with public meetings. Can I get a motion to approve the resolution?
I move that we approve the adoption of the resolution in item 2A.
I second that.
Okay, all in favor? Thank you. Okay, next up, agenda item 3A, boundary line adjustment 2021-0038 for Woody Heckaroth and Mark Thies. So this one is similar to the one that we had last month, where this is being revisited by the committee because of a request by county council to change the condition of approval. The initial condition of approval was a partial non-renewal of the Williamson Act contract for the land being transferred to Heckaroth.
Yeah.
Council has determined that's not appropriate and they would prefer to see a cancellation, outright cancellation of the property instead. So we're bringing this back to the committee with a new special condition that a cancellation of the Williamson Act contract for that portion being transferred from Lot 2 to Lot 1 must be completed prior to final approval. So everything else about the project is the same, we're just changing that special condition. So environmental health, any comments?
No.
Transportation?
No comments.
Okay, and so planning is recommending approval with that new special condition. So can I get a motion?
I move that we approve boundary line adjustment 2021-0038 with revised special condition number 7, stating a cancellation of the Williamson Act contract for the portion of land being granted from Lot 1 to Lot 2 be complete prior to the final approval being granted.
I second that.
Just one minor amendment. I have it as Lot 2 to Lot 1.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It says 2 to 1. I misspoke.
Coming from the going to Heckaroth, which is 51110 Covelo LLC. All right, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, next up, agenda item 3B, boundary line adjustment 2022-0035 for Terry and Carol Blair. This is a boundary line adjustment to reconfigure the boundaries between two existing lots about 2 miles south of Ukiah on the west side of South Dora Street at 265 Crestview Drive. So is there anybody here for this application? Does not look like it. All right, environmental health, any comments?
No comments.
Transportation?
No comments.
Okay, and planning is recommending approval with standard conditions.
Okay. I move that we approve boundary line adjustment 2022-0035 with standard conditions.
I second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, agenda item 3C, boundary line adjustment 2022-0036 for North State Properties. The applicant is Friends of Liberty. This is a boundary line adjustment to reconfigure the boundaries between two existing lots about 1.5 miles north of Ukiah on the east side of North State Street at 300 Ford Road and 1307 Masonite Road. Do we have anybody here for this? I don't think
Does
so.
not look like we have anyone.
Okay, environmental health,
No comments.
transportation.
No comments.
Okay, and planning is recommending approval with standard conditions.
I move that we approve boundary line adjustment 2022-0036 with standard conditions.
I second that.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, that concludes our boundary line adjustments for today. So next up, we have agenda item 4A, which depending on the version of the agenda you have may be marked as 3D instead. This is an extension of time for minor subdivision 2011-2011-0002 for John and Myrna Foster, an extension of time for a minor sub for an 8.93 acre parcel to create 4 parcels. This would the original expiration date is March 5th of this year. That was extended by Assembly Bill 1561 18 months ago. So this is the first paid extension, which would give them an additional 18 months and bump the expiration date up to September 5th, 2024. Environmental health. Any comments or concerns?
Yeah, I wondered if you knew what was the outstanding conditions that still needed to be met, and if any were the EH ones.
Well, let's take a look.
Since it's on the radar.
So we don't have, there's a condition about complying with an ARC report. The best management practices, doesn't look like we have any clearances from the fire department or CAL FIRE. We don't have any clearance from environmental health checked off. And it looks like they need to pay a little bit of money for the affordable housing fee.
Okay, I'll take a little harder look before I file this one, just to make sure it's updated.
Okay, actually now that I see it, there's a special condition number 38. Prior to filing of the final map, the applicant shall restore all proposed parcels to an acceptable condition as determined by the Code Enforcement Division. Any non-inhabited travel trailers, hazardous material, i.e. broken glass, metals, etc., and loose garbage shall be removed from all proposed parcels. So I believe they're working on complying with that condition.
Thank you.
Okay, transportation.
No comments?
Okay, and planning is recommending approval of the extension of time.
I move that we approve the extension of time for minor subdivision 2 of 2011.
I second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, so that takes us to agenda item 5 for pre-application conferences. We don't have any scheduled for the regular agenda, but there is one immediately following this. So we'll stop the stream before we get to that. So then agenda item 6, are there any matters from staff?
Hey,
Go for it.
now that Jocelyn's doing this, I think I'm gonna ask and see if it's possible. When we have these scheduled, could they be appointments that are sent out with the Zoom link in them so they show up on our calendars with the link in it?
I can try and figure out a way, yeah.
Kind of like we used to. You set up an appointment, you add who's got to be there, and then you copy paste from the clipboard for Zoom. So it takes the time up on the calendar with the link in it.
So I have the subdivision committee in my calendar. I can just add you guys to that.
Yeah,
Show up on your calendars.
that'd be great.
Okay, Alex, any comments or concerns, matters from staff?
Nope.
Okay. So that takes us to agenda item 7, which is adjournment. And then, as I mentioned, we'll adjourn the meeting, we'll stop the stream, and then we'll bring in the folks from the pre-app and we'll do our pre-app conference off the air.
Okay.
So can I get a motion to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn.
I second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. See you in a minute.